Hi ladies, Strawberry here, and today I'm going to teach you the basics of knife safety. So the first thing you want to do is, one, make sure you have your pocket knife, and two, you want to make sure that you're sitting down on a good sturdy surface like a chair or whatnot before you get started. So first we're going to talk about our knife. So here we have the handle, and then here we have the blade. So when we're working with our knife, we want to make sure that before we even open it, that we're aware of our surroundings. So we want to make sure that if we can stick our arm out like this in a circle, that we don't run into anybody, because a knife is not a toy, it's a utensil. And so the next thing is we're just going to open our knife, and here we go. So obviously here's the blade. Now my knife, the way it works is I have to press in right here on the inside to help close it. And a lot of knives will have locking features, and so I definitely recommend one that locks. That way you don't have to worry about your knife folding in while you're using it. Now before you really start to get to use it, and before you kind of carry it around, it's really good to get practice, opening and closing your knife. That way, no matter where you are into the rhythm of how to use it, because you don't want to go out and start using your knife and not know how to close it and be walking around with an open blade. So once you kind of get there, you're really good to go. The next thing you want to be sure of is after we use our knife, we never fold it away dirty, because then you get all sorts of dirt and gunk, and the integrity of your knife declines because you're reintroducing it into a dirty area. So we want to always make sure that it's clean and that it's sharp, because a dull knife is 10 times more dangerous than a sharp knife. Next thing you do, also when you're using your knife, is you just want to make sure that you're not hacking away. It's not really a saw, it's used to cut things like rope or whatnot. You want to make sure that you're not really digging into like a block of wood, or a lot of girls use a bar of soap or whatnot as kind of their first whittling type venture. So you just want to make sure that you're not really hunking in, because it's meant to do more of the finessing, not really of the hardcore cutting and sawing. So our next thing we're going to talk about is how to pass your knife to somebody else. So if you guys are working on a project, you're setting up a taunt line or whatnot, and you need to pass your knife back and forth, it's very important that everyone is aware of what you're doing. So when you're passing your knife to another girl, to another adult, that everyone is in control of the blade at all times, so that way we can prevent accidents from happening. So the first thing is your knife is open. So what you want to do is you're going to want to hold the bottom, it would be the top part of your blade, the non-sharp side. You put that in the palm of your hand and you grasp it like this. So we're not grabbing the knife, but we're holding it from the bottom, and that way we have control of the blade. So if somebody tries to pull it, then we're not going to hurt ourselves, but we're also not going to relinquish control. Because when you're passing the blade, you want to make sure that the person you're passing it to is aware that you're passing it to them and that they have control of the blade. So what you'll do is when you pass it to somebody, you wait for them to acknowledge you by saying thank you, and in return you say you're welcome, and that acknowledges that the person you're giving the knife to, they have control of the blade. You acknowledge that they have control of the blade, and you're relinquishing the blade. So we're going to do a quick run through, but here it goes. So I extend my knife to my friend.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then she takes the blade. Now when she's preparing to give me the blade back, then we'll run through the same thing over again. So she'll extend the blade out to me. I say thank you.
You're welcome.
And there you go. So that's kind of all I have for now. Hope you ladies have a safe time working with your knives, and see you at camp.